I know that I'm against the death penalty. I don't like the way it's handed out to people. I think sometimes people are given the death penalty because of race or because of economic status or because they didn't have a good lawyer.
I know it's when you're putting someone to death for a crime they've committed. Personally, I am against it because I think that no matter what the crime is, we don't have the authority to take someone's life.
If you commit a serious crime, which is based on the jury's decision, you might be sentenced to death. And in third world countries, I don't know anything about the death penalty.
The death penalty in general, it's an ancient remedy for violent crime and sometimes other types of crime. Pope John Paul II says that it should be on the books, but the use of the death penalty should be incredibly rare. So, and in third world countries, I don't know the exact data, but I do know that in many, as maybe their legal system is not as evolved as some other countries, which sounds a little bit elitist, but that they still do turn to the death penalty as a solution.
Okay, so something about the death penalty is that most states in the U.S. use lethal injections, but some states, like Nebraska, still use the electric chair, which is not always effective.
But it's all confusing, so I don't support it, by the way. I don't think you should kill someone because they kill someone else, because then you're just killing more people.
I lay back at you, you stare politely.
Tried as an adult, because if they have the mind capacity to be able to commit such a horrid crime, they should be tried as an adult.
Like, you killed someone, or I don't know, you did something really bad, you should be in jail or put into a special program to make your life better.
So I think a juvenile who commits a murderous crime should be tried as an adult.
With jail time and maybe some community service, but
You began to wonder why you came.
I think that the family should be the ones to decide.
I think the law has the right to decide the punishment of the kid because the victim's family has too much emotional feelings towards the person.
To judges, they most likely will get it right, so I think judges should be given that responsibility.
The parents should be involved, but the main deciders of the child's punishment should be the court system and the judicial branch. But the family should definitely be involved.
I think probably an impartial judge should be deciding punishments. I think
in other countries that the victim's family should decide their punishment for their crime.
What works best there is the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, where the offenders who have made some savage moves own up and they say they're sorry. You can build on that.
that it's really tricky to just leave it up to a family who's grieving and who's hurt, and I think they would not be impartial enough to really make a good decision for someone else's life.
I don't think the victim's family should have any part of the trial because they're very biased, and so obviously there would be no just opinions when it comes to what they think should happen to the person who committed the crime.
The victim's family should definitely not be involved because they're going to have a completely biased view of the criminal.
I know how to save a life.
Okay, I believe that a lifetime in prison without parole is better than capital punishment because then the accused would have time to seek redemption and make a better life for themselves.
Maneuvers, if you're a criminal, you should pay the price and you should live to suffer for what you've done, and in that suffering some change can happen. So I'd hope for that. Killing's too easy, and how can we teach that killing is wrong as a culture if we kill our murderers? It's a little bit hypocritical in my book.
I think that a lifetime without parole is actually a bigger punishment than death because you're staying alive that time, having to live with what you did.
I really like the idea of life without parole for bad people.
One should have to live with it for the rest of their life, and being killed off is just like, they get the easy way out.
How to say